Good day and welcome
Sorry.
to episode number 9 of the Hat Chat podcast. With your hosts, Ross Hornby,
Chris Trott,
And Alex Smith. That's my voice.
Yeah.
No one else has got
That's
that.
my voice.
I own this voice. What are we talking about this week? Random stuff.
Well, we might be swearing,
oh yeah.
so watch out for those swear words.
There's
They'll come
certainly
at you
Themes
really
of a
fast, real quick.
sexual nature.
And also we were going to be talking about, controversial topics potentially, scenes of a sensitive nature.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Kissing.
Cover all bases there. Today's
Tonguing.
today's fingal
Yep.
was made by Questa.
Thank you, Questa.
Cheers for that. That's nice.
Nice.
I felt like it's the start of a early 2000s.
Like a Street Fighter game or something, or like
Ace
maybe
Combat.
like yeah, like or definitely a Sega title.
Yeah.
Konami.
I loved it. It was so good. Questa, make some more music for us, please.
And if you want to send in your fingal, use hatchat at hat-films.com.
What?
Which, if you are watching on stream, it's available there. You can see the text there. It's hatchat at hat-films.com. What a mouthful that is.
Mm-hmm.
So should we kick it off?
Yeah.
Let's, Ross, let's get straight into
the biggest
it.
announcement.
The biggest announcement was we were trending this week, guys.
So we're celebrities now.
We are
Yeah.
celebrities. And
Well, according to BBC law,
Yeah.
if you have over 30,000 followers...
BBC law.
BBC
no,
law.
I think wasn't it ASA or some kind of
No,
advertising
BBC.
standards?
BBC
law.
don't set laws.
They do set laws.
So according to BBC law, if you have 30,000 followers or more, you are considered a celebrity under their advertising rules.
Right, okay.
It doesn't really state that you are actually a celebrity. You
I'm
could
a
have bought
celebrity.
Get me out of here.
You're a celebrity.
Sure.
You are?
Followers on what, though?
I
'Cause
say
I've got
that,
like
though.
30k on Instagram, but 130 on Twitter.
Yeah, but we just
You're
hit
over that
30k on the Hat Chat channel as well. So the Hat Chat channel is famous in
It's
itself.
only
It's a
celebrity.
celebrity.
Yeah.
It can't run for office anymore.
Does it all
Is that
stack
true?
up?
If you're a celebrity, you can't.
No.
That doesn't seem to make sense.
No,
Are
it's
there
not
different
from
tiers
current
of celebrity then? So it's like,
Yeah.
if I've got
Of course there is,
60,000,
A list, B list.
am I double 30,000?
Your Z list.
Surely,
Right.
we're
What?
lower than that.
What lower
Why?
than Z list? What Q list? O list.
YouTubers must be.
Depends. It
Is
depends.
that lower? O
Depends on
list? That's
YouTube.
higher up in
Yeah,
the
I'm thinking zero list.
The thing is,
zero
like,
goes
numbers
numerical.
into goes numerical.
people we grew up with, we probably hold at a higher stature.
Yeah.
But in actuality, if they had social media, would they be as prolific as us?
Yeah, but I think it's.
Maybe not.
It's
Probably not.
It's easier to get famous now, or easier to have a following.
Yeah, because
Like-
you've got access to the whole world.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends on what you do, though. Because I think if you started a fresh account right now,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you'd have to post on it regularly. You'd have to kind of do something impressive to gain followers. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think.
Master
I don't
Veg.
think it'd be.
Drink a popular streamer's bathwater.
Yeah, exactly. That's
I was
some
thinking
nice
Master
link.
Veg,
Master Veg.
where I every week
Mm-hmm.
pick a different vegetable and rate it out of 10 how good it is to masturbate to.
With or two?
Both.
Have you already done this before? Like, can you
I've
give
thought
us any
about it.
help with the carrot situation, or maybe a potato?
Yeah, it was just I couldn't get it submitted to YouTube Kids, so
Top three
couldn't
vegetables.
get the audience.
Off the top of your head, top three fruits or vegetables. Go.
Cucumber, avocado, and coriander.
Coriander? Are you like wrapping it around like a fistful of coriander?
He was just really quick.
Also,
firing this.
avocado has a huge stone in the middle. What are you doing
I
with
think
it?
honestly, he was just literally rattling the first ones that came to his head.
None of those are
I
good.
don't think I've ever
Melon?
seen you eat
Well,
avocado.
like a melon would be an
Yeah.
obvious one. Cucumber, sure, you can stuff up your ass.
I was thinking of courgette, but I said coriander.
Yeah. Well, there was courgette. That's not fruit. Because
No,
I think we
fruit
made
or
that mistake in
vegetable.
a
I said
master
master
film
veg
thing.
to begin
Master
with.
veg, yeah.
Okay.
Can fruits be in there as well? Can you have a sub like category?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but would you put tomato in there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
it's a fruit.
Two nice, tasty, big old juicy tomatoes.
Beef tomato.
Master veg. I think
Hot
it's got
beef
legs.
tomato.
I think it's got legs,
It's
personally.
got legs. Well, start it and see how far you get, because I feel like you've already gamed the system by telling people about it. So you son of a bitch.
Shit.
If you get 30,000 with master veg,
I'm gonna make a master veg account.
fuck.
So trending. We found that it doesn't really make an impact on views. Indeed,
If anything,
sometimes
it hinders.
makes it worse. How's that
Well,
work?
It's hard to say. It's hard to say with YouTube in general when what the algorithm's throwing at people. But yeah, we were like 22 on the main trending.
Mm-hmm.
But our Minecraft goes on gaming trending quite a bit.
Mm.
So why doesn't
and that
they
does
get
better.
like more views than the average Minecraft video?
Well, we were okay. So it
So
was
imagine
it was a
if-
scooter. It was a scooter vlog that was trending.
Mm-hmm.
We were showing off our new scooters and gave Craig our wonderful editor here. Hear his voice now.
He's all right.
Thank you very much, guys.
He got a scooter out of it, and we thought, yeah,
we do it just for that.
We'll give him a nice little scooter because he looked really sad when we all opened ours,
very
and he
kind
didn't
of
have
you.
one.
We just like him indebted to us. Blood debt.
Yeah, we're going to give him so many things that eventually he will
Now
become
owe
our
you
slave.
You're going to be like Chewbacca.
Remember that time we got you the scooter? How about the Xbox, buddy? We're just, yeah, we're really.
Now give me
Hold
your
up
kidney.
against him.
Ross has lost a kidney.
I'm gonna need your kidney.
You're gonna cash all that in. We need your
Yeah,
kidney.
I'm cashing in.
Ross now has 2 functional kidneys and Craig has 1.
Yeah,
How you doing, Craig? Oh, I'm feeling a bit weak. Well, good job you got that scooter. You
Yeah.
don't need to walk to work.
yeah. Pay it forward.
Meanwhile, Ross is just like drinking and like really
Yeah,
ruining it.
just trying to ruin it. I mean, oh, this is a really clean kidney. I feel great. Thanks, Craig.
You're suddenly not pale.
Yeah.
You're like really like full of life.
Yeah, and we'll film it and we'll put that and that'll go trending as well.
Yeah. We took a kidney from our editor.
Yeah,
we
we-
surprised our
we
editor.
claimed it back. We surprised our editor with a kidney surgery. But yeah, we were on trending for a bit. We were sandwiched between channels that had millions and millions of views and subscribers, so that was nice for a day.
Yeah. We were
Didn't
the
really
meat.
make an impact massively on the views of it, but
I don't understand how it works. Because in my mind, those channels, those videos that are getting millions of views, right?
yeah,
They are trending too.
they already have a shitload of subscribers.
But why, if trending is a global thing, and like you go on the trending tab on YouTube and you got 10 videos there, those are being presented to the same amount of people,
Yeah,
right?
essentially, yeah.
So we're saying that the trending page has less reach than a person who has subscribers.
Well, yeah, essentially, which is bizarre because I think on like YouTube apps and stuff, the trending page is the first thing that comes up.
Because
And sometimes it's the same old shit constantly. So
A lot of people don't.
it's nice to
go
be
the
part of that
trending
once.
tab.
But think of it in terms of like cinema, right? So
Yeah.
when you go to see films, it's like people will more often than not go to see a film that is heavily advertised on the side of buses, that sort of thing, as in a trending page, and they will just go, oh, this is a new Quentin Tarantino film. I mean,
Yeah.
that's obviously a bit of an extreme example, but people don't follow creators in film, I don't think, as much as they follow just films,
Are you
right?
sure?
Yeah, think of, like, okay,
potentially.
New
obviously, like,
Spielberg film,
Robert-
new Tarantino film.
but I think that's us. That's us because we
Yeah.
like that kind of thing. I think the average punter, goes to see the new Spider-Man film. They probably don't know. I don't even know who the new Spider-Man film
yeah,
is
I mean,
directed by.
I think
like,
it's dependent on the genre,
Yeah, I don't
right?
know.
So
Yeah.
like superhero films, yeah,
Mm.
Warner Brothers, for example, or Sony Pictures will pick whatever director for each individual movie,
yeah.
and it doesn't matter, and the superheroes take precedent.
Yeah.
But like for things and the topics and the subject where you kind of need the director to be the influencing marketing strategy,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that is also valid.
But would you say it's what I'm
like
trying
a
to
Chris
get is, like,
Nolan film, you know what you're going to expect.
Yeah.
You've gotten a
what is the trending page a non-YouTube equivalent of? Is what I'm trying to get at. Like, as in,
Right.
is it like a series of posters put up around the city?
It's
Like,
the
what-
video, isn't it? Itself, it's the content of the video. So it's like
You mean the trending page?
I mean,
to-
what function does a trending page serve? As in, like, is it the equivalent of like the specials board in a restaurant? That's what I'm getting at. Like, how does it affect a viewer versus just people who are subscribed to a certain content creator?
Well, I'm guessing it's curated, like manually. So someone's gone, oh, that looks like nice or whatever. Like, and there's specific sets for UK and wherever else. Because yeah, we're sandwiched between someone that Tatty makeup artist, some Hayu, which is something to do with Kardashians. So like, these are like brands and like kind of big, massive YouTubers and
we're
brands.
littered in between.
And we were
those.
just sandwiched in between it.
I feel
someone
like they
cl-
do that for the classic fair use or
Yeah.
fairness policy.
Yeah, so you have
Where it's
smaller to
like-
help grow 'em.
We've got the big ones, but also we're helping the smaller people.
Yeah.
And we're not that small. Like they should be getting people with
saw a
sub
few-
100
yeah.
subs and
I
stuff.
saw a
like
few
that.
people saying that was like a full-on clickbait thing. I mean, so in the video.
By that you mean one person, right?
No, I saw loads. I saw loads of comments. Did you not
Three?
see them?
About what?
In the chat.
the scooter
In
video.
the comments, yeah. And on Reddit as well. Basically, so in the video, we surprised our editor, Craig, with a brand new electric scooter.
Mm-hmm.
So the title of the video is We Surprised Our Editor with a Brand New Electric
So you
Scooter.
didn't say Craig.
But we didn't say Craig. So that's why it made it clickbait.
They
Fuck.
thought it was a different editor.
Fuck's sake. But it is interesting because like I'll read that and it does look clickbait. To be fair, like I mean, it just seems.
I think
like that.
clickbait has been taken
But-
out of context as
yeah.
like the definition of clickbait has changed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's different for everybody. For example, it's like you're making it like a news article, kind
Yeah.
of the Sun style thing,
removing
where you're
personality from
capitalizing
it.
things like you won't believe the blood, and we're like hyping it up essentially.
Mm.
When in actuality, what we said as a title is correct.
It's a rare.
It's not a lie.
It's a rare scenario where something's
Baiting
like dead
is when
on.
it's like a bait and switch, where like you expect one thing and get another thing.
Yeah.
When you read that title, you expect an editor to be surprised with a brand new electric scooter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
don't
feel
think
like Craig
that's-
maybe wasn't surprised enough in the video. There wasn't enough visible
I
emotion.
think maybe
on his
we
face.
should have.
But
I mean, Craig edited
surprised
that one. To be
him,
fair,
though.
Oh yeah, we were super surprised.
Our
Yeah.
intention was.
No, I'm
surprise.
joking about the surprise thing.
Yeah,
I,
Craig. Come on.
were you surprised?
I was very surprised.
He was.
Yes.
I mean, we
were
put-
trying to hide it
take-
I
well.
was so
we-
surprised that I couldn't work out if it was just a massive prank or not. So
Yeah.
I was like, am I? Like, I couldn't work out.
Well, as we said in the
could
video,
have put my my boobs in the thumbnail.
we could have put your boobs on
That
something.
would have done way better.
But I think our original idea was that we were going to go out and get bolt cutters and a chain,
Mhm.
tie it up somewhere,
Yeah.
come across it organically
And pretend
in the
to
video,
steal it
and
in front
then
of Craig.
whip out some bolt cutters and cut it open.
I think
Over the
you
weekend, I
would've-
was like, I don't think this is going to work, guys, because Craig will see right through that.
or a
think-
member
There's
of the
no-
public will just call the
yeah,
police.
yeah. There's no scenario where I think
If
that
we
any of
had
us will
done that
go
in front of you,
"Let's-"
Craig, how would you feel? Would
I
you,
don't know. I don't.
Surely
Again,
not.
like
You just wouldn't believe it.
I
if we
wouldn't
just
believe
had
it,
bolt
like,
cutters on us,
Yeah, whipped
and
out
just
bolt
started,
cutters.
like,
When have you
opening-
seen
I'd
one of us
probably
with
think
bolt
something
cutters?
was up, but I would still.
Man,
What do you think I do at the weekend? I just go around stealing bikes.
Yeah, I just take some bolt cutters around, like in the open, and just crack
This is a
open
whole
some
new
locks.
format, guys, that we're just unlocking here. We could just surprise Craig all the
Prank
time.
me constantly.
Like
Or
he
we could just-
seems so
yeah.
unaware.
It's a series format, unlocked, and then we just literally all have bolt cutters and go around and unlock things
Craig wouldn't
for
break.
fun.
Yeah.
Just in the same way that some fuckers are licking ice cream and putting it back in the fucking freezer.
What?
What?
Have you not heard that?
No.
Oh, I've seen the whole like
Yeah, somebody,
opening
like-
bottles, taking a swig. And
Yeah,
putting it
there's
back.
a shit like a trend.
Who is doing that?
It's a trend now,
assholes
like
on-
Snapchatting and.
What is wrong with people? Why are... God, fuck me.
Yeah.
Why are there so many fucking idiots on the internet?
Well, that's there you
Like,
go.
I
It's a
thought we
big
were
pool of
idiots.
people.
We are not idiots. Compared... Why would you do that? So going into shops, just licking an ice cream and putting it back in again.
Peel it off. Give me a lick.
And then all their viewers are fuck you if you find that funny.
I feel like you would notice the moment you open it. Though.
Oh, God. I just...
If you open it, you'd be like, well, hang on. First of all, the
I
thing's
think-
been peeled back. There's like a big mark in the middle. Ugh.
These kind of trends are just making, like, everybody or, like, people who are watching it into just the
It's like
worst
happy slapping.
participants of society,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like,
But when you consider that kids are the ones who mostly watch this stuff en
Yeah.
masse, they're the fucking ones who are going to go, oh, they're doing that and they're getting shitloads of views. I'm going to do that.
yeah.
And then, or worse. Or I need to one up that in some way. Or
It's so bad.
whatever. So,
Like when we were growing up, like I think the most outlandish thing we used to watch are things like Jackass, right? So like,
Yeah.
but those are people
And
hurting
CKY.
themselves, probably paying
The thing
to hurt
is, though,
themselves.
given the platform, we would have done the same thing. I don't think it's fair to
What, you
say
think we would
in
have
our
been-
childhood we weren't anywhere near that bad. But I think given the opportunity,
fuck.
there would be some kids out there that do lick bottles and shit in front of their mates and put it back. It's just that they've got
Yeah.
cameras now and can put it on the internet.
I'll be honest, I was influenced
I think-
by
I don't think
CKY.
I would lick.
I know you wouldn't,
Ice creams.
but you know people that would. You know someone in
Yeah.
school that was that guy that
Yeah,
just
yeah.
did this shit in front of all the people in school because they're idiots.
Yeah, but that guy was an idiot.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but
Well,
but
I've
what
a-
I'm saying now is these people have massive followings.
Oh,
Like I
wow.
think
yeah,
that
yeah. And it's bad that happens, but I'm not saying that we were any better.
Yeah.
Our society, our
But
generation.
we were us personally were better though.
Well, not necessarily, because
And there's other people
I'm not
of
bad,
that-
because I made like
You lick a lot of ice
a
cream.
Jackass style video with one of my friends where he thought it'd be a funny idea to strip off to his boxer shorts and then roll through a field of stinging nails.
But that's just hurting himself.
Well, of course, it is just hurting himself, but that was completely inspired by like CKY and Jackass and stuff and all that
Yeah,
dumb
there's
shit.
always
Just
bad
thinking, hey, I've got a
influences.
camera. Let's do something fucking dumb and funny, and you do get influenced by it. Obviously, I wasn't willing to fucking roll through it myself, but I was happily filming it.
Not to
the
mention,
side, edited
like-
it, some funny music.
I think it doesn't matter if you're that way inclined to follow a video and do the same thing. You're gonna do that sort of stuff anyway.
Not necessarily. Not, I
What?
mean,
What do
I
you
think the
mean?
influence in the first place.
It gives you the idea to do it, sure, but
Yeah.
you're gonna mess about and do stupid stuff anyway. It's
You are
not-
gonna do
You're not
stupid
stuff.
converting
Yeah.
people like you to be like, oh, I've seen this video now. I'm gonna change the way I am to be like this and be as bad as they are.
Yeah.
You see, I think
But I'm a
that-
functioning member of society, just about.
Well, I'm a bit annoyed because I was going to suggest to you guys to make a video just like that.
Ice cream lickers.
Yeah, ice cream lickers.
Also,
it's,
like-
it's a trend, guys. Let's jump on it. Let's jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah, it
you know?
sucks. It's stupid, and we should definitely get on it.
I think that, like, for me, what the main distinction is with Jackass and stuff like that, those were people doing stupid things that affected themselves.
Yeah, exactly,
I
yeah.
think that, like, what frustrates me about hearing about that is it's stupid stuff that affects other people
Yeah.
that, like, maybe don't
Have
want
they-
to
Are you
participate.
sure they haven't done stuff in their videos where other people are
yeah.
affected.
I'm
I'm
not-
pretty sure they
They
have.
would have done some stuff.
Their bread
but,
and
like,
butter
nothing,
isn't that. That's the thing. Like, as in, like, you watch most of Jackass's official produced stuff. Like, they're not about fucking with the public.
It's like big stunts and pranks.
I'm being devil's advocate for
Yeah,
all
yeah,
this,
yeah, I
But
know,
like
yeah,
that
yeah.
person that uploaded that
Yeah.
could be 1 in 1,000 videos where they're not doing that as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they destroyed the shit out of like Bam Margera's family home all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So his
But then they're all
his family
minted
are
because
affected,
of
but
it.
Yeah,
And like, they used to antique Phil when he was asleep all
Yeah.
the time.
fuck me. You
Which
wouldn't
I
wanna-
can't imagine.
You wouldn't
anything-
want to be in that friend group, would you?
Oh,
Holy shit,
God.
you would just get
It's
fucked
like-
over all the time.
How does he ever get to sleep? Like, you'd just be like, is there a guy with a bag full of flour waiting for me to
Yeah,
fall
right.
asleep?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, no, they did the McDonald's stuff where they would throw a milkshake through
what, the Jackass guys?
in like early days. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
CKY stuff. Like, yeah, they would just make a
I think
funny
there's always
voice,
these
do a
bad
dumb order, and
influences
then
out there.
Yeah.
and It's always
Oh
going
yeah, I think it's fair to say like it's not generational, so to
Yeah.
speak.
It's not any worse now. It's more accessible now.
Yeah, yeah. I had to had to mute a few people on Twitter recently,
Why?
just because like I think it's affecting me too much. Like
Twitter is
I saw that Donald J. Trump retweeted.
very formal.
That's what that's his account, I think.
Yeah.
He retweeted Katie Hopkins today. And I
Oh,
was
cool.
just like,
Nice.
right, that's it. That's my line. And so I sort of just started muting stuff because I think just like at that point, it's so beyond like reckoning and so beyond anything you can do about it.
It's frustrating because being a celebrity after BBC Law
Absolutely.
instated,
BBC
Yeah,
Law, of course,
BBC
yeah.
Law.
I feel like
yeah.
I have to utilize that platform,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
and I have to be on it, and therefore I am subjected, like you say, to all these
Yeah.
accounts and stuff.
But that's
then
a
again,
really
it's-
interesting
Have to
point.
be.
Like, do you have a duty of care to be the good guy, like, or because you have a
You don't.
voice? I don't. No, but do
Not
you?
with your tweets.
Do you? Hey, I tweeted. What was my most recent thing? The guy that caught a snake and a catfish on a single fishing pole. Did
Oh,
you
I
see
saw
that?
that. Well, 'cause it was
I did
bit-
see
bit
that.
the
Yeah,
snake,
yeah,
that was
bit the-
great.
Yeah, and I was like, ooh, double prize. Toy Story reference. Anyway, that's the kind of quality you'll get at Twitter/AlSmithy. Come
Sure.
see me.
Nice.
But what I'm saying is, like, do you as a person, like, you know, have to put out there like nice things and good things that are happening?
I don't
and
know. I mean, I
like-
tweeted about
Yeah.
the horses being attacked the other day, which was awful. Like, holy fucking shit! Some tradition where they
yeah,
round up a load of wild horses, cut their tails and their manes.
and then just try and jump on them.
But they were
Wow.
punching the horses.
Sorry, I'm looking
Oh, here
at
we
this
go. So this is the
Snake
clip.
and fish. You are missing out if you're not seeing.
Is the
our
snake? Is the
VOD.
snake alive still?
I imagine so.
It's gilling.
Yeah,
The fish is
I
alive?
think maybe yeah, maybe.
Ugh. Ooh. He's like, fuck me.
See,
Down in the bag.
That's kind of wholesome and interesting. Like, it's not wholesome because things are dying. Obviously, animals. That's
What
not-
if a
that's not
fish
so
saw
nice,
that?
But,
Yeah.
well, we need to keep screens out of lakes and rivers, Trot.
But it's a good point because that like I switched on Twitter and saw that horse thing and it just annoyed me for the
Yeah.
entire day. I was just
Yeah.
like, I cannot believe that's a fucking thing.
Ricky Gervais
Yeah.
does retweet the most, like.
But for like good reason. He's
For
trying
good
to
causes.
point out, look, this shit's happening in the world.
But I have to
and-
gear
Yeah.
myself up
You know.
to be an advocate for like being a bastion of. Yeah, I'm going to watch this now to like really empower
Yeah.
myself to do
Yeah.
something right about this.
And the thing is, your opinion, your surmisation of something isn't
Yeah.
necessarily going to be correct.
Of course,
But
yeah.
but you need to look at the counter.
Because obviously, they
argument to
might
what
be
you-
like, it's a tradition, and you
Yeah.
know, it's been happening for God knows how many years, and it's nothing to do with me personally. But to watch like a bunch of horses getting punched by people just seems so fucking random.
yeah, yeah.
It's just like how can somebody think? And it was a filled auditorium. Like
Yeah, I saw
people,
it. I
it was
saw the
filled
video,
up.
yeah.
They fucking
I
they were
didn't
all
see
loving it. It was just like
it was deleted. when
it's
I got to
hard.
it.
It's hard to fathom there are people out there who do that shit, and Twitter opens that door to these
That's
things.
why it's hard to get
May as
into
well
the
go on
mindset of
fucking
someone
Live
else. It's easy to assume what
Yeah.
people are like, but
Yeah.
ultimately there are
just don't go on live.
really
That's
weird
worse.
things.
Live Leak.
Live Leak shows you everything.
At least Live Leak knows what it is, though, in a way. Like, I think that like things like that are not good and nice to see, but
It's not censoring itself
Yeah,
in the sense that
exactly.
look, this is
Yeah.
what's happening.
yeah,
You can see what's happening.
Make
Whether you
your
can make
own
a different
decision.
sure, you can make your own decision on the
Yeah,
footage
yeah.
you're given. But
yeah,
yeah, there's some fucked up shit out there, man.
Mm.
yeah. Scary old world.
Dogfighting's alright though.
Well,
Dog.
they need a workout.
You're training Mochi up. I know you are. I can tell.
She's a bait dog.
So what else
Fighting
was I
fit.
going to say? So moving on from the trending stuff. Although saying
I'm
that, this thing
joking.
was trending recently. It's about the new Lion King film,
Yeah.
which has been
It's
getting really good
pronounced Leon
reviews.
King, I think.
My mistake. The new Leon King film,
Leon Kang.
based upon the 1994 original. Was it 94 or 95?
Well, that's also a rip-off of another
Was it
old
really?
anime, but yeah, we'll go with
An
that.
anime.
But it's Disney. And
It's a Japanese cartoon.
yeah.
Is it really?
There's like the whole thing is there's a big controversy about the original Lion King, how it literally just took the entire story of a different thing, almost like the
Like
same
Avatar
names as
and-
well.
What's the other one? The one with the
Oh,
Little pixel-
Pocahontas.
was it Pocahontas?
Yeah, like it is exactly the same. As
Yeah.
Pocahontas. Even the names.
So
But
basically, there's a comparison here between the it's a
Hakuna Matata,
Hakuna
the song.
Matata, the song, and
oh, look at the little meerkat riding
You'll-
the
Can we full screen that, Craigle?
is there music on it? I think there is. I mean, should we play it?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're playing.
podcast. They can't contact ideas.
Podcast. That's it. Yeah. But basically, what's happening is they're singing Hakuna Matata. There's the cartoon version below, and the real version above. It kind of loses a bit of flavour, don't you think?
Yeah,
In the fact that like it's real, it looks like very photorealistic, real lions and warthogs or
The
whatever.
uncanny valley is like I've never wanted to picture a real lion singing before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas,
I think kids will fucking love it. Really.
yeah,
I guess so.
it's
Yeah.
getting
Well,
good
I don't see why
reviews.
not? Like,
Yeah.
It's the spectacle, it's a visual like.
yeah.
The technology is incredibly impressive.
Yeah.
I'm super blown away by how they've managed to make a lion look real. That's amazing. But yeah, the whimsy
way
and the
better than
charm
the
and
original.
the
And the
fantasy
color.
element.
Look at the color comparison.
The color
Yeah.
palette is
Like-
amazing for the original. And it's so far detached from reality that you can just treat it as
Yeah.
a work of
It's like
fiction.
a safari on acid, though. You're just wandering through. The animals are now singing.
It's an artistic
picture.
interpretation of
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
real life, whereas the other one is trying to mimic real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then apply. It's almost like you remember those old like pet adverts where they used to do the mouth on a dog. It's like, "Whoa, buy the new pedigree
Yeah,
shampoo,"
yeah.
and it's just like this looks wrong
Yeah.
in so
But
many
normally
ways.
it's jovial and stuff. That looks quite serious. Do you know what I mean? It's like it doesn't. Look
They don't
fun.
have expressions that
Yeah,
are like,
yeah.
"Ooh," and they don't get splash of water in that. I'm quite cheesed off.
Yeah, I noticed that. He doesn't fall in the water.
Like, fall in the water.
I want that lion fucking falling in that water.
Yeah. And also like the grubs and stuff, the insects.
Yeah,
and,
the big, like-
big juicy
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
It looked funny because it was like over the
Yeah.
top.
Yeah,
Now they're gonna get a real insect, I assume, and
Is it-
then
what's the
eat it.
Other one. There's-
maybe. Like,
The
I think
height-
the best, the positive of this is getting kids to care about animals. Because like if they
Yeah.
if they
Yeah.
see, because with the cartoon versions you're detached from it, right? Like you
Yeah.
say with the big bugs, you're like, oh, it's not real. It's the
Well,
big juicy
you say
bug.
that. What
Like,
about the emotional? I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it since 1994. But the climactic scene where Scar is at the top,
long live
and
the
then
king?
that was emotional.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
And you could. I mean, obviously, yeah. They
think,
don't look like real animals, but
It's more emotive to the characters rather than
Yeah.
I'm sad that a lion
Yeah.
went that
fuck,
way.
I
I can
think-
only imagine that's going to be fucking quite harsh in this one in terms
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
That looks like a real lion.
I kind of want to
trampled
see it for
constantly
that
on.
Yeah.
alone.
Oh, absolutely. I think it would be a good film.
Gonna get his kick size.
Imagine being an animator and having to do that.
I'm here for the fucking murder scene. The stampede.
Bring
Book
the
me
big
in. Actually, can you just tell me when it happens? I don't want to see the rest.
Also, there's other bits where the hyenas like
Yes.
tear apart something. And
Oh,
it's all
there's the
shadows.
elephant graveyard as well.
Yeah,
isn't
which
there?
is,
Like-
that scared me as a kid.
Yeah.
Like, but as a
I
cartoon,
didn't need
they can
photo-
probably show a lot more as a cartoon
Yeah.
than they will do with
Yeah.
real animals.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's good with the real animals because I think kids hopefully will learn, like, you look at it and go, wow, look at these amazing animals.
Yeah.
Shit, if we don't, pay attention to this, then we're not going to have those in 50 years' time. Or there's
Is
gonna
that message in The Lion King though?
I think
yeah,
it's part
I think
of the wider
Attenborough
message.
hops in halfway through.
Oh, look at this. This is actually dead.
You can see Mufasa. Here he is with his pride.
In 10 years, none
Simba.
of this will be existing.
Poor old Attenborough. He's finally becoming relevant,
Do you think so?
and he's going to die soon. No, of course he's not finally becoming relevant. He's been very relevant, but what he's saying, his
Yeah,
message is, I feel, more relevant than ever. And he's only got a couple years left,
Yeah.
probably. How old is he now? He's like 90 something.
Yeah,
happens to the best of them, like
94.
Hawking as well.
Yeah, like
All the space stuff.
I think
all
that,
that space stuff.
there's
I mean,
some-
he hasn't even gone into a black hole.
No.
Maybe he has.
we don't know.
Well, he will do. His
Maybe that's right.
his matter, the things that make up him, will eventually, fire off into the universe, which I think is really nice.
The things that matter.
Yeah.
There's also talking about Disney films. They're doing Mulan as well. Although I don't think that's going to be musical in any way.
Why not?
Um,
Also, are they going to have the little dragon and
I think it's very real. It almost looks
It
like
looks like a
kind
martial
of
arts film.
hidden. Yeah, what's that one?
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
which is like it looks amazing.
Mm.
It'll probably be a beautiful film, but like,
Yeah,
does
visually.
that
it
remove a
looks-
lot of the charm from the original film?
Probably, yeah. Also, the actor that's playing Mulan, she is, I think, a martial arts expert.
So it'll look fucking cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I've seen some of the clips from it, and she's doing some crazy sword fighting and stuff.
are
and
we looking at these films from the wrong angle? Like, we're
Well-
comparing them to the original, but are they just reimaginings?
Yeah.
Like taking the
yeah,
same
essentially.
story.
Yeah, I mean, it's
'Cause-
still Disney, and it's still kind of got that similar branding on it, but
Because they're not calling it a remake or anything. It's just like they're taking the same story and
Mhm.
applying it in a different medium.
Yeah.
Really.
Ultimately, it's all entertainment, and in a way,
it's also nostalgia driven.
yeah.
Because people like us who've seen those films when we were kids are going to go, oh shit, I'll check that out because it's real and it might look fucking cool. But maybe some of the charm will be missing.
People our age now have kids who Disney want to try and get those adults taking their kids to the cinema.
Yeah.
Right.
I just wish I knew mine.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
like,
you'll never meet them. Trott.
I don't know. I saw a couple of kids yesterday who had
signed a contract.
One kid had an eye on his cheek, another one on his forehead. I
That's
think
Trott's.
that's probably
Can you
yours.
get me in touch?
Yeah. Oh, he was swimming around in the Bristol River.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, he was gobbling up some fish. On
Easy
the,
to
on the
find.
bottom.
Bottom feeder, nice. Probably related.
It was quite
Probably
disgusting to see. I don't think anyone should approach him, but
No.
yeah.
I mean, I could.
Finn, I think his name was.
Finn.
I think they're also doing The Little Mermaid, aren't they? Is it Little Mermaid?
Yeah. But she's a person.
She's a person now.
She's an ethnic person, I think.
Yeah, which kind of makes sense for the location and stuff, right?
I mean, I don't care.
No, no, I couldn't care less. Is it animated or is it going to be
No, it's live
real
action.
life? It is live action.
Someone made a funny
Okay.
post about this and said, I think it's absolutely disgusting that we cast a human instead of an actual mermaid.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Just shows how absurd this whole,
Yeah.
how stupid it
We'll
is
get
to be like,
rile that.
she's not white!
But I think there is.
No.
What do they call those people? Those people that have like the ham, the roast. What they call? There was a name for them.
What do you mean?
Angry middle-aged men who
Just-
get really red and angry about things. There's a name for it.
Ham face. Anything
Like
coming in
some-
chat, Craig?
Like ham-faced men. Like
I've just typed in ham face, and oh. Sorry, something else came up.
Gammon.
Ham face girl. She's
gammon. That was it. Gammon. Yeah.
Gammons.
But
Don't
you
type in ham face.
I swear there's plenty of like news outlets and media outlets now that are just using things like people are getting pretty angry about it not being a white thing. But in reality, like three people have
just
said
like-
it. And then the majority of the interaction with that news is people going, this is ridiculous. Right? And
just to get the comments and
so
the
like
engagement.
causing controversy from nothing.
it's just like just fucking ignore it. Like just get on with your life, I guess.
There's plenty of mermaids out there, though.
There
That's all
are.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Why not go full fish with it?
Oh, what was
Why
that?
not have a fish player?
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it
A fish with makeup.
Because beluga whales, I think they were
In outrage.
people were associating them with. They were fucking outraged. They were so furious.
Beluga whales in general.
Underrepresented.
So I mentioned this to you the other day that beluga whales have knees and it looks fucking weird.
Yes,
Yeah.
they do.
Craig, you have to find that picture because
They also
I
have
also
a
don't.
squishy that bump on their head. is
Beluga
also squishy.
knees.
Do you know
They have
that?
a what? Squishy what?
The squid. There's a bump. The bump on the top of a beluga whale's head.
Right.
It's squishy, so it's not bone.
Look.
So you can like.
Okay,
it's squishy.
I've got a picture. It's the second one, Craig. Craig's got the picture.
Oh.
Right. So to describe it, it looks like someone is in like one of those really foamy
It
suits,
does.
and their knees are just poking out the bottom.
They've got knees.
That looks fucking freaky to me.
Yeah.
But that should be the star of the Little Mermaid, and I'm annoyed.
Also, Google elephant foot X-ray.
Oh, okay.
Craig, now Google the film Splash.
Splash. No,
Now
I love
Google
that film. Have you guys
teeth.
seen Splash?
I don't think I have. No.
You haven't seen
Elephant.
Splash?
elephant
What
foot.
is Splash? Splash.
film?
Chernobyl? What?
Oh yeah, because that's what the meltdown was
Look,
called.
that's in an elephant's foot.
No, that's a
So-
human's foot.
it
No.
looks like a-
On the right hand side, that's definitely
On the
a human
left, though.
foot.
To describe for the people
Oh, I
listening
see.
on this
Look at the
podcast,
left.
which is all audio based,
We're looking
If
at a
you've not
comparison
seen-
image of a side profile of a human X-ray versus an elephant
Yeah.
X-ray, and it turns out the bone structure in an elephant's foot is exactly the same.
Why don't we just cut off the meat at the back and just get them walking around like normal people?
That is an overcalloused
it's a-
human foot.
Yeah, it is.
it's a lot of weight to fucking carry on just
I think
some
it's based
feet.
on
I mean,
weight, isn't it?
It looks
Yeah.
like cheese, doesn't it?
But-
Around
Oh
it.
yeah, that's a
If
good.
anyone complains about high heels, think about they fucking
think
feel.
about elephants.
Oof.
Oof.
Jeez.
Ouch.
Anyway, the film Splash.
Sorry.
was
A young
a-
boy saved from drowning by a beautiful mermaid falls in love with her 20 years later when she returns to seek him out.
Yeah.
Seek him out.
She's pretty hot in the film.
Okay, before he can choose between life on
Oh,
dry land or
what-
deep sea
the
paradise
Little
with his
Mermaid?
dream woman.
It's got Tom Hanks
No,
in
no.
it.
This is Splash with Tom Hanks.
Oh wow.
It's
Um,
really quite a good film.
The lovers are rudely
Can't go
interrupted
wrong
by
with
the
Tom
intervention
Hanks,
of a
can you?
scheming scientist.
1984. Yeah, there is a scheming scientist that wants to abduct her to find out, she's a fucking mermaid.
Well,
This
that's
is the Little Mermaid.
Yeah, that you find a mermaid, you can experiment on them.
Isn't this the premise of the Little Mermaid?
No, well, because I think the Little Mermaid came before this.
Are you sure he wasn't like a scientist pervert who just wanted to like have
Yeah,
sex
so I
with
mean,
the mermaid.
like, Splash is taking the story of Little Mermaid.
In a way, but they kind of like move it to New York, and it's like got that very much that sort of America in the 80s vibe to it. It's good.
Okay.
So what? She's in the New York like river, whatever it's called.
Well,
The,
there's a scene where she has to like, get in a paddling pool or something. Like basically, if she gets wet, if she gets splashed by water, her legs change back to her fin.
Wait, no,
her tail.
is that right? Because I think you're describing a different show, which oh fuck, what is that show? There's another
I think
TV
I've
show
seen this film.
where
Splash?
they
Bringing back
get
weird
splashed with
memories.
water and then they change. Is it the same? Is it based on the same thing?
I think I've seen this film.
Probably.
This is bringing back weird, fragmented memories.
And just
I remember
weird
that
kind of
underwater
mermaid
kissing scene.
fantasies.
Yeah.
I remember that bit
Yeah.
Underwater
really
kissing.
distinctly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't
I
that
think
from Casino
Because
Royale?
she helps them breathe.
Yeah.
It's not from Casino
Oh my
Royale.
god.
It's a good film.
Yeah, I remember it.
I remember it as a kid. Like I watched it and I was like, well. A bigger splash. Hold on. What's this? Click that
Featuring
right hand one.
David
H2O. Are
Hockney.
you thinking
Further
of H2O?
right. Maybe. What's
Just add
H2O?
water. Okay, so H2O. Let's find a summary of H2O. Teenagers always feel
Ooh.
different, but these 3 Australian girls really are different. They're mermaids.
Oh.
Trying to keep their special powers a secret is hard for Emma, Ricky, and Cleo. When
Cleo.
they're
What
not
a
in
set of
school,
names.
they're using their magical powers to save sea turtles and rescue those in need.
Oh, it was.
Local bully Zane and
Oh.
popular snob Miriam
Classic.
don't make it easy on the girls to keep their adventures hidden.
Damn it.
But I'm pretty sure that's the one where, I mean, it's in the title, Just Add Water. They get splashed with water and then uncontrollably they turn into a
Fish.
mermaid.
What if they drink water?
They're fucked. This is the thing. There's a lot of flaws. Like you can't go in this with a scientific
What
mind
if
of
they're-
logic. You need to kind of accept that.
If their bodies are
Let's say
80% water.
The outer. I know. Well, no, don't pick holes in it because honestly, that will drive you insane if you watch the show.
Well, it's like
Um,
Signs. We always hark back to it, but
Yeah.
Signs is obviously
Fatally flawed.
glaring issues of that film.
Don't use H2O as some kind of weapon because
What- don't-
ultimately
Don't
It's
use a
everywhere.
ubiquitous
You'll get caught
substance
out.
as the flaw to your character.
Yeah.
You know, like
Carbon.
shit.
you
Yeah,
realise that's in the atmosphere. You fucking idiot.
carpets make me die. So you got to dodge carpets for the rest of your life. Oh, can't go in there. You got lino, kitchen lino.
Does that count?
Does that
Laminate.
Is it 100% wool or I don't know?
Yeah, I mean, half of these furry floors are actually polyester plastic based. So, I mean, just don't do it, guys. Don't make a hero that's allergic to carpets.
But there's a lot of flaws in that. But that's the mermaid talk over. I think
Yeah.
we've done mermaids.
Well, it's like a
Tro-
skyscraper, isn't it?
What we're trying
A
to
lot
say.
of floors.
Yeah. Disney don't need to make the new Little Mermaid because it's been made already. Splash.
Splash.
Thank you.
That's the
Lion
only
King.
mermaid film we need.
Yes.
Check out Splash. Seriously.
.com.
Talking of splashing, there are people online now selling their bathwater, triggered by a girl called Belle Delphine,
Yeah.
who I have an article here. It's in
It's almost
the funny
old
news
news
section.
now, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Is it really? I mean, I thought it happened this week.
Happened more than yesterday.
You know what I
Okay.
like about this Belle Delphine thing? So basically, Belle Delphine, if you don't know who it is, she's like a e-girl, whatever the hell that means. Basically, an influencer.
she
It's
a-
not real.
Is she like a?
She
cosplay model?
plays like a character. Yeah, she's a cosplay
purely
model.
cosmetic.
She
not cosmetic.
streams all this sort of stuff. And
No
what she
thanks,
did,
Craig. Actually, sign me up.
she said that if her followers and fans could buy a little tub of her bathwater, so water that she's bathed in, right? Okay, bit weird on the outset. However, what's brilliant about this versus what some creators have done is that it's kind of just takes the piss out of what you can get away with now.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the thing. It's like when we did the drill dough,
Yeah.
and we
We've
thought,
done
well,
the same thing,
fuck,
if not
yeah.
worse.
could we sell a drill dough to somebody
Yeah.
and for a silly amount of money?
Yeah.
Ultimately,
out- turns
the
out,
onus
yes,
is
you
on
can.
the patron, right?
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
buy it.
Mhm.
That's
And
generating this demand.
She sold like 100 of them. I think they were about $50 to $100 per tub,
I think
which
it's
is quite a lot of
$33.
money.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's kind of a fun thing for fans. Like, I mean, like, I
Well,
think it's great.
it is to a degree, but this person
get
decided
a
to
custom
drink the
top.
water, which is completely on them. I don't
Yeah.
know why they would drink the water, and it made them sick for several days.
I'm not
Uh,
surprised. It probably had chemicals in it. From
Yeah.
a
But
But
bath
obviously, they're
bomb or
doing that
something.
for the memes and for the clicks.
And
They're
they probably got
hey
views for
guys, I
that.
drank it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, I don't know why it made them sick though. Maybe it's just all the soap or like
It's
fucking.
kind of gross.
It has triggered other people to make fakes though, apparently. And
I'm not surprised.
somebody said they opened it. It smelled like Indian food or like.
ass, just ass.
Yeah.
I think
Ooh, this smells like an unwiped asshole.
she got an
Yeah.
unreasonable amount of hate for this, right?
I don't
people
know.
are like,
hate
Again,
for
I
it.
think it's largely just this
It's
like
quite funny.
news
I think
outlets
she's taking the
saying,
piss out of
like-
these kind of
Yeah.
loser nerds who are actually buying
the
that
thing
shit.
is, like, fair play to her. She's playing the game and
Uh-huh.
she's succeeding. I can't really
Wait,
fault
she
that.
also did that thing where she said that she would start a Pornhub account if she hit X amount of followers or whatever, and then when she did, it was basically like like PewDiePie. Oh, PewDiePie's inside me, and then she eats a picture of PewDiePie. So it's just completely piss taking, which is
Yeah.
I think
funny.
is probably the perfect way to deal with that kind
Just
of
give me the news.
culture,
God
audience,
damn
whatever.
it! I wanted the porn.
It seems like she has a sense
Outrage.
of humor, which is pretty
Exactly.
Good, right?
I think so as well. Like,
She's probably making some cash.
Making bank.
Yeah,
yeah.
some good money. So when are we selling our bathwater? Is what I want to.
Well, if you check out
Let's step this up. Toilet water.
Patreon.com,
Toilet water.
Our toilet water.
Ah, wow.
After we've used
With-
the toilet.
With lumps, with bits.
Well, anything that's in the
okay.
toilet.
should we just set a tier, like a really high tier?
Yeah.
And it's like
Hatfield's toilet water.
combined Trott Smith and Ross. We put it together in this
Yeah,
one
yeah.
unique jar,
Yeah.
custom lid.
With a custom warning saying, "Please don't drink."
yeah.
I'm
At
worried
your
that
own-
people would then go and like test it for STIs and it'll just come out really positive.
And then we're like, "Which one was? Which one is it?
Yeah.
Was it you? Was it? Is it me?
Which one of us has chlamydia?
Am I fucked? God damn! What
What
happened?
about like piss in a bowl? Like we got to take it a step up from Belle Delphine.
Well, you've got to
Yeah.
think about what the
Well,
laws
toilet
behind
water rather than bath water. It's the next
what are
step.
the laws
Toilet
behind
water.
selling that. I mean, as long as you, I guess, put a disclaimer. Can you sell
Yeah.
anything like liquids like that?
I think so. As long as it's not a
It doesn't
controlled
say it's supposed to be
substance.
or an
drank,
illegal
right?
substance.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Right,
I
well,
don't
I
think
guess the
there's
next question
fault
is:
with that.
let's go down to Lush and get ourselves some bath bombs and
Yeah.
have a big old bath.
Well, yeah.
Oh, you got the biggest tub. Should we hop in
I reckon we should
Yes.
do some sort of like
jacuzzi?
outs-
We'll get jacuzzi sorted.
Should we do some sort of outside activity that gets us really sweaty
Yeah.
and then sponge us off?
What about just post 3 days at LARP, not washing?
Yeah.
You know, like
then
that.
have a bath.
Yeah.
And then put that in a jar.
Rancid gooch water.
So now
I
that we've
don't think
discussed,
there's
yeah,
enough- I don't think there's the same appeal.
no,
for having
none of
our-
us look
our water.
I mean, who would want to share a bath with all three of us versus who would want to share a bath with Belle Delphine? You know,
This
like
is
you.
the thing.
you
Depends on your perspective.
Well, it does. I mean,
And how much would it be worth? Is the other question. How much could we charge for that kind of thing?
you
This
can't
is
put a price on
$33 for
gooch
this.
water.
You can't.
I think it's got to be
pay
relative
what you
to
want.
the follower count or Patreon count that she's got
Yeah.
versus us.
So 10% of our YouTube subscribers. So 80,000.
No. Versus her. So if she's say got 1 million Instagram followers and we've got
Mhm.
30,000, we need to take that off of the bathwater that she's selling and
Right.
make it ours that
Right.
price.
Okay.
So like
Okay.
3p. So I'm
What if we just buy all of her stuff, up the price, and when she stops
Become
selling it,
resellers.
become resellers? Yeah.
It's like
Now
the
that-
Which
sneaker-
I feel like people are already probably doing. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, you can probably
Kinda
make
weird.
fakes anyway, couldn't you? Like, how do you know it's her?
Yeah.
Exactly. You could. I mean, the fact that it has anything that would make you ill in it is impressive. If anything, like
Well,
if
you don't want to drink bath soap. I think that's mainly
No.
it.
Yeah, if
yeah.
you drink soap.
whoever wrote this
Soap is
article
designed
can
for
just,
drinking.
Yeah, stop drinking it.
Oh, I
but-
got sick. It's all
Yeah.
supposed to empower me.
I don't know. I think it's interesting. I
It's
think
funny.
that most people find it funny. I
It
think,
also created all this news around
Yeah.
it, which
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
made her more popular.
and it just means that
Exactly.
PewDiePie's got some more thumbnails that you can use her face
Yeah.
on. So that's
Yeah.
great. Good for that guy.
yeah.
What's the link with PewDiePie and her?
There is no well. It's just the fact that like he's mentioned her previously
Oh,
in
she's
other
meant-
videos where
I
he's
see.
done reactions to dumb shit she does on her Instagram,
I see.
Yeah.
and every time he uses her face, it seems to obviously attract a lot more clicks.
Right.
Some reason.
Technically, she can be in the thumbnail for this podcast now.
Boom.
Craig is here for a reason, and
Thanks,
that is
He's
the
a
reason.
forward thinker. Like
She can be in
God
the
damn, you're
thumbnail.
gonna see it.
I was
There you
going to
go.
put Craig in the thumbnail.
So with
Yeah.
this, right, and with various other like cosplayers and other women that probably, let's be honest, are using partly their appearance and to promote themselves, right?
Yeah.
I know this is extremely eggshell territory, so I'm going to be as careful as I can saying things.
I'm glad it's you saying it.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I don't know
so
what he's where are you going with this?
now, so Belle Delphine and people like that, they understand that there are some strange people out there that have some strange requests, right? So like,
Yes.
she's
Yeah,
selling
fuck,
bath
you can
water.
imagine
Half
what
the people buying it were probably like, "Lol, this is hilarious." There's a gamer
Do
girl.
you find it
online
also
selling bath
weird that
water.
it's also predominantly men that are like the really creepy
Yes.
people?
I don't find it weird.
find
I
that
find,
weird, really?
but I think that's true.
Do you think it's a biological thing?
Potentially, I have no idea, but I think.
I mean, this scenario. it is kind of weird. Like,
I'm trying to
what's
make
she
you
wearing?
tread lightly from eggshells
Yeah.
into hopping.
Right. What I'm trying to say is, I think that it must be somewhat confusing for less worldly men when they see things like this, and then they kind of get told off for being creepy. What do you think
what do you
about
mean?
that? I don't know how. I don't know whether we want to talk about it on this podcast or not, but like, I was speaking to a few of my friends the weekend about different things, like involving women online, and I think it's
Right.
totally fine that women can do this, and I think like empowering themselves by using their appearance is great. Fuck it, great, do it. Like I empower myself by being loud and tall and charismatic and great looking. Like I think there's no problem whatsoever.
Great. This guy.
I think there's no problem whatsoever with what these people are doing, and I don't think they should be abused or any of these sort of things or berated for doing this.
But neither should consumer. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking
Well,
that
the guys, I mean,
there is an argument
there-
there for. There are people out there that access this material and enjoy this material that perhaps don't understand those rules, and I think that there is a danger to almost these.
What's the thing? Do you think these kind of 14-year-old kids growing up with this kind of?
I think
this
they're
now
probably
like
older.
the culture and the meme. Well, yeah, but like as
Yeah.
in a younger kid now has access to fucking shitloads of porn and all God knows
Mm.
what, and this is like not just a meme. It's kind of like a culture in itself.
Yeah.
Is that kind of encouraging kind of weird behaviors and attitudes maybe because she
Does it hurt other
looks
people?
a bit like a kid? Sorry.
Does it hurt other people? I think that's what it boils down to. It's like our society is going to constantly
don't know.
shift the goalposts of what is offensive
Yeah.
and controversial.
See, I think that's good. I think that people becoming less offensive is good. It's like when you look at old horror films, right? Like the people that back then it had like an 18 rating, and nowadays you'd look at it and you'd be like, this isn't even
This
like
is easy, pussy.
yeah, that's chocolate sauce
Get with
he's
the
using
time.
for blood, like.
Yeah. And also, like, just going from country to country, say Scandinavian countries are far more likely to be naked as a family together because that's fine.
What? What? Scandinavian countries.
Yeah, like Finland.
Okay.
Saunas,
Is this?
saunas
Is
and
this
stuff
true?
together. Like, they're just.
I don't want to type it in. I want
Like
to type in
whole
naked
families
family
are having
together.
saunas together.
No one, they don't care about being naked, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
as
okay,
much
sure.
as
Right,
they are
right.
fucking super closed off.
Yeah. There are
coun-
cultures that are more liberal.
I mean, there are
with their
even tribes
interpretation
where
of
they still
nudity.
cover
and
their junk.
France with like showing nipples and breasts
Yeah.
and stuff versus
Mhm.
all I'm saying is like the goalposts are all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely.
various
And
cultures and
Setting those standards, is it just our culture right now being
Yeah.
unnecessarily closed?
It's all consensus. Like, if we all lived for 500 years, like I think that we would like have a much more broad state of mind because
I'm sick of living.
yeah, well potentially yeah. I mean, you would be at the moment. But
Year
like
500's coming up. Fuck.
what I'm saying
watching
is
the world die.
there was a time when kissing in public, in the 20th century, early 20th century, kissing in public, holding hands and things like that was seen
Women
as a bit
showing
like,
ankles,
out there.
showing
Yeah, exactly.
a neck.
Now we're obviously in a completely different circumstance, and that's within one person's lifetime. So within that lifetime, that consensus has changed so much that something. I mean, let's look at same-sex marriage and things like that.
Yeah.
Something now that we see as just a very basic right was like
But
you
it's
saw
still
two men
being-
kissing in public; they could be arrested. Like,
Yeah,
and-
but
and-
that's still an issue in certain
In some
countries, right?
countries, yeah.
That's the thing. And
but this is all based on consensus. It's all based on what the most people think about this, right? So this is what
Yeah.
it's all based on. It's
Is
not
it
based
really?
on morals.
And again,
people?
like all of these things that have become legal over time, you realize they don't harm anybody
Yeah.
by making them
Yeah.
legal.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
So I think until someone starts getting injured or physically or mentally impaired by these things that are happening, they shouldn't be a problem, and it's just the current culture needs to adapt to it.
But what about the culture now, where you have people like Belle Delphine and lots of other cosplayers who get
The only
consistently
person-
creepy messages from men,
Yeah.
stalkers,
Yeah.
all this sort of stuff?
I mean,
the stalking. You can imagine like the weird.
the problem
dudes
is you're
who-
putting yourself out there and you risk attracting that audience, and you should be aware of that audience
Yeah.
when you're doing those things, and therefore, unfortunately, making yourself
But should that be her problem? Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
no
you should be free to
do what you
do
want.
this.
I
like
think
this.
it
I mean, porn's been a
confuses
thing for
people.
God knows how long.
Absolutely, it shouldn't be their problem. However, I do also think that realistically, like in a purist state of mind, absolutely that shouldn't be their problem. And in an idealistic world, but we don't
But it
live in an
will be.
idealistic
Yeah, it
world.
will
We
be
live
a problem.
We live in a world where there is every walk of life, every state of mind, from psychopath to greatest person in the world. Like,
Who is the greatest person?
What
in the
should
world?
be
I'm thinking that like you can't. I think it makes it really hard, especially for men of certain ages and in certain social demographics, to work out how they should be behaving. And people are innately sexual people, right? Like sexual stuff is
True.
a human element.
the majority?
So
yeah.
when person is sexually attracted to somebody, say in the street or at a bar or something,
You get a boner.
You maybe go and ask them, talk to them or something like that, right? Saying like, "Hi, how you doing?" And there's
But
hopefully
you're
you've got
educated
some-
enough to know
exactly
boundaries.
Yes.
And that's the thing.
However, when you see so much of this sort of thing where a person's, I can get this person's bathwater if I wanted to.
Normalising
If you have this, normalization of very intimate things. I'm not saying you shouldn't normalize them, like you were saying, like normalization of intimate things. We've progressed through that. Like once when being gay was illegal and people talking about having gay sex was disgusting. Now it's just like, lol, nice one, you banged him. You know, like now we're like just like that with everyone. Like,
what she's doing is exploiting the boundaries, right, in order to gain access or people to feel like they've gained access into her life more so and more intimately than other people normally would, and therefore she's profiting off of it, right? And I think that's she's only able to have a career out of it because of the oppressive culture that we have. Like the restrictions that are there. She's breaking them, and therefore
it's
that's
exciting.
appealing and attractive, and she's making money of it. As soon as that becomes the norm and everyone's doing this and it's widely accepted and it's totally normal for everybody to do this thing,
she'll no longer be special.
the appeal is no longer there. I think it's just the
you
fact
can
that
imagine a lot of them jumped on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
So, I think in a non-idealistic way, if a person hasn't been brought up in a certain way to be more worldly and trying to be more understanding and understand some boundaries and things like that, you're going to have these swathes of society that don't understand that you can't see every girl you meet in their underwear. You know, like you can't see, like you know, with that whole like, I just think that it's
you get some
really
people,
complicated.
you get some people who will fight back those type of things. Like is it Julia Hardy? Julia.
Yeah.
Like she's always like calling out those assholes who just say weird stuff to her, like with no context to it. They'll just say that shit. Like obviously with this stuff, you might kind of expect those weird comments sometimes, but hers are completely unwarranted, so she'll call it out. I guess in a way she's probably not going to chastise those guys making those weird comments because they're paying the bills and they're buying this weird
and she
bathwater.
understands the situation that she's in by posting these things is going to attract unwanted attention, and she can block it.
Well,
but in a way that she's welcoming that in and understanding that
she's welcoming it in,
that's you and this is me, but I'm not going to take what you say seriously, and that's, but she's not going to tell them off, is she?
Yeah.
Well, it's like it's. I mean, again,
doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
Yeah.
Just to preface this, we don't think this is right or that this person deserves to be abused. But let's think about this. You work in a bar or a pub. You're more likely to encounter drunk people and people who are, you know, maybe having fights and things like that, right? It's very much about you will encounter certain kinds of people and certain qualities of people depending on your walk of life.
Yeah.
So with us,
you go into specific places, talk to specific people,
we understand that we can't freely talk about our own addresses. We understand there are certain elements to what we do in our personal lives that we know we can't just talk about because what we're saying and what we're talking about is going out to lots of people. There are some rules for us that perhaps wouldn't have applied to us before we did YouTube.
Because ultimately, at the end of the day, we're going to get hurt. And that's what it all boils down to is if I say this certain thing to this demographic of people that I'm surrounded by in this environment, that risk then comes onto me if I do these actions.
You hear it all the time. Like people have gone to Syndicate's house and just said, "Hey, I just wanted a picture and stuff." But like they've gone to his house when he might be, you know, doing whatever.
And it's difficult because he vlogs as if everyone is his best mate, and he's in his house.
This is a thing.
Like, I'm so glad you guys are with me right now in my house doing all these cool. And I'm not saying these are the words that he says, but like,
it's not an invite, but you can see how that could be misleading.
It's
for
like we're best.
Some
it feels
random
like we're
guy.
friends. Like we're tapping into a psyche of a person where it's like we're addressing them as if we're already established relationship going on, and they're very thankful that you're there with us.
Yeah, because ultimately, when you enjoy
this
content online, you know, some people will watch it because it is like being in a group of friends. You're like, I know that joke, or I get what they're talking about there. Like I can see that a lot of our fans probably think the same thing. But ultimately, if we met in real life, that's not there.
Yeah.
But it is part of the service we provide, and like this is the thing. Like, is that the price of fame? Like I think it is.
Yeah.
Personally, like,
and we should expect such from individuals that aren't. As
not everybody's perfect.
I think you know, our audience is very respectful. Like we've never had
I've only
issues
been
like
punched
this.
once.
Were you punched?
No.
Somebody ran up to you and hugged you once.
I did get jumped on at a train station.
But that was like, you know, fairly
I wasn't even aware that they were there, but
but you punched him real good. He went down like a sack
and then
of bricks.
pushed him onto the tracks.
Yeah, he rolled him onto the track. That was pretty
crazy.
daring. And then when we saw the train go over, we all just cried and left, and it was a weird day.
It was super strange.
Yeah.
The train driver hated it.
No, oh god, he's off.
All I said was that
Doesn't
you should
work
have
there.
expected this.
Yeah, you're a train driver.
Mental.
You've got to expect. You're paid to because people jump out. You know, train drivers are actually pretty well paid.
Yeah,
and it's actually quite a hard job to get. You have to do all sorts of tests.
It's really hard to drive a train, turns out.
Yeah, you have to have. There's loads of like quick decision-making tests and things like that. It is all on rails ultimately.
It's on rails.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm of two minds. I think in a perfect world, yes, people should be free to do what they want as long as they're not hurting other people and shouldn't expect to be hurt back. However, we're not in a perfect world.
This muddies it in that kind of like this welcoming of that attitude.
And when
muddies
people
the
explore
mentality.
the boundaries and experiment with them, knowing that they're putting themselves at risk,
Yeah.
you're also going to get some, you're going to get something negative back.
Yeah.
The more you push it.
Yeah. And I hate those guys that are out there that make women feel uncomfortable when they have to walk to the shops at night and all that sort of stuff. Like those people are the scum of the earth. However, I know they exist, and therefore I think that if there's particular women in my life that I'm worried about, I'll think about that and I'll say be careful or take this into consideration or whatever, because there are these assholes out there.
Mansplaining to them?
No, I'm saying that I care about them, and also I'm kind of
joking.
I'm apologizing in a way, sorry, I'm a cis white male, because I feel that there are these assholes out there and that sucks. However, you do need to plan for it, because we can't change everyone straight away.
Everyone needs a weapon.
And there's a growing culture of I'll stand by my original thought process and stuff, and still continue to mistreat people or talk to people in a weird way. People on a build try and as bad as the kind of trope is, but people on a building site, they do catcall, they do fucking say discriminative things as women walk past.
They're the most likely people to shout at us on our scooters.
Well, yeah, exactly. But if you turn around and try to defend, try to say, whoa, shut the fuck up, they don't give a shit.
No.
They couldn't give two shits, and they are probably not that ingrained in the internet culture. They don't see that side of things. They're just having a laugh
their
for themselves.
perspective of being catcalled is not a positive thing.
No.
It's you should be lucky that you got all this attention and that people find you attractive.
It's
it's not that. You are degrading me to an object of desire. I don't want to be that to you.
It's different strokes, because there are some people online, there are some women who actually enjoy that.
As
weird as that sounds, it's not on the mass, but there are some people who go, they kind of find that flattering. And there's a flip side to it, because one guy might go, oh no, she actually said she liked that, but did she really, or what?
It's just bad to assume everything.
Of course not. Well, you should.
This is the thing, and this is kind of so. It's interesting you said that.
So
I was going to say
it's simple. Don't catcall.
You say that
because you're putting yourself out there.
I was quite a few years ago, 5 years ago at least. I was at a bar with some friends, and their expanded group of friends that I didn't know very well, and there were a few girls there that I didn't know either. And anyway, this expanded group of guys that were with our friends were, I think, crossing a line. They were doing stuff just being a bit too forward. I saw one guy slap one of these girls' asses, and I was like, that was too far. So I was talking to one of the friend of this girl, another girl or / woman at the bar, and I was like, oh, sorry about those guys. I don't really know them very well. I saw they were being a bit forward, and just wanted you to know that that doesn't reflect all of us. And this girl was like, what are you talking about? Don't be so snobby. Well,
that's it. And online, you'll get called a leftist asshole.
Yeah. And I was like,
geez,
I was like, sorry, I didn't realize, and that's totally fine if that person wants to do that. You're right. And it did kind of make me think I'm not a white. I don't need to.
Yeah, you don't need to fight for her. Yeah.
But at the same time, I was kind of worried that they were feeling uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
So that's really tricky.
I think it's about reading the situation correctly.
And it's really hard.
If you saw one of your friends that you would go, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
If you could actually relate to them and go, man, don't do that. That's
the whole
weird.
Getting into a relationship thing is a game in and of itself. It's like poker facing. It's I just want to make sure that they like me, so I'm not gonna.
Right. Yeah.
It's all this mystery
It's
around it, which is where the problems lie.
But with this, I imagine there'll be a few people who go, oh, that's such a leftist kind of mentality to just always want to respect people's personal space and stuff, which seems so obvious to most people, but in this culture right now, it's being driven into people on the right side as well.
To not offend anyone.
Well, no, that is being driven to people too, but then there's the other side of kind of standing your ground with, well, I'll do what I fucking
being
want.
offensive.
And it's fucking hell. Can you not see that you need to respect people as well in the way that you want to be respected?
Simple human rights.
You can't tell it to everyone, because it's very internet centric, that opinion. You know what I mean?
Being humanist is kind of the way forward. As in, try and treat each other. We're all humans. We're all fallible. We all make mistakes. And I guess the point I was trying to make with this earlier was, these people, they are out there and they do bad things and they are inappropriate. But ultimately, you got to think about the fact that that's a human being. Why are they like that? What they have essentially the same equipment that you have. They have similar brain. They have eyes that see. They have ears that hear. We are all human beings, and if we try and be a bit more treating each other like human beings, I think we'll be a much healthier place, rather than, like you say, left and right and feminist and not feminist,
choosing fucking football teams as if there isn't. It's so much more complex than that.
Ideal? Say, for example, someone catcalls someone else, right?
That
person is of a mind to catcall and stand their ground. This person is not.
Yeah.
How do you fix that?
So is the person visibly unhappy or like showing that they're unhappy about being catcalled?
Yes.
I would ask that person if they feel okay and if whether they want anyone to do anything about it. Like tell that person.
Because more often than not, in these scenarios, they'll have branding of their company and stuff on the side of these sites or whatever, and you can be like, well, look, I'm going to speak to your manager. That's not on. You can't talk to whoever it is like that, especially if it's like someone you know as well.
And if the guy at the top also goes, fuck off, mate, they're only having a laugh, then that's an endemic problem. What can you do about that? Like,
But ultimately, I mean, you've said this before, it stems down to education, right? Like teaching people that these things aren't
isn't that a problem?
good. Do you think so?
What is good and wrong?
Yeah.
Like you're saying,
Yeah,
stand
yeah,
your
yeah,
ground, not
yeah.
don't stand your ground. What are we educating?
Who qualifies what is right?
And then you're
consensus. This is what I was saying.
Yeah.
That's what qualifies it. It's consensus.
But I mean, it's
you just
recently
have to obey
in
the
the
law
news,
because that's the place you're living.
Well, law is based on consensus. It's not necessarily the right thing. Like you were saying earlier, some things are illegal that aren't necessarily harmful or have been made illegal because of certain corporate pressures. So, for example, the hemp industry in America, the rail industry in America was suppressed by the motor industry, and that's why you've got barely any public transport infrastructure in LA, and it's all cars, because at that time in the 60s when they were thinking about putting a public transport system in, the motor companies just went, now we don't want to do that, so they lobbied to have it out. So this is the thing, like laws, I don't think laws are the way to govern your life.
But you say that, I mean, with this whole discussion of education and stuff, recently there was the argument that they shouldn't teach kids about LGBT relationships or the fact that that's even a thing.
Yeah, people didn't want their kids learning about it.
Which is a shame, really, because like the less they learn about that earlier, the less they'll kind of tolerate that later on in life.
Yeah.
And I think that's the whole point of it, isn't it? So it's to say, look, this is something that is in the world.
Yeah, it's just
it doesn't have to be explicit. It doesn't have to be graphic and pornographic in any way.
No.
It needs to be just, look, these are things in the world we're telling you about.
A man and woman in a married life is not the only way to live your life.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Be open-minded.
I just don't understand the counter argument to it. It's just like, why?
Well, it's because they don't want their kids to like learn about anything kind of sexual. Like, how was your like sex education at school? Because mine was kind of shit. It was quite quite shitty. Like they were very kind of just like, here's the penis, here's the vagina.
Well, primary school education.
Primary school was
it was also heavily built up as like here comes the big taboo thing that we're all gonna watch this. If anyone feels sensitive about this sort of topics, then and it kind of like built it up to an unnecessary. Like,
I think they're worried about
rather than being natural,
making the issue more complex for them to actually explain as well.
I think relationships, not necessarily sex education, because those kids aren't going to be having sex until they're 16 or in secondary school, the end of secondary school, right? Yeah. So ultimately, maybe it's like teaching primary school kids about driving. Like, they're not going to need to operate a car.
It's got to be relevant to their life.
However, they do need to know that there are cars out there on the street that have certain impacts on your life. Be it pollution, be it the danger of being hit by a car. That's useful. And I think that learning about relationships and learning that
adaptive.
Relationships are not, and gender is potentially non-binary. Is important because it makes kids. The most important thing about, I think, teaching your kid as they're growing up is to be open-minded and to accept that there are the multiple ways of doing things.
You know the way they're talking about personalized healthcare, where the treatment is specific to the person
and their genealogy.
I reckon education should be specific to their environment. So if you want to encourage someone to learn something a certain way, it has to appeal to their environment and the way.
And that's totally possible. There's no money to pay for that. That is totally possible.
Pay for it.
Yeah, well, that's private education, and as you go into private, not saying that private school is necessarily better than state school, just in case anyone jumps on that.
You haven't been.
No, exactly.
I can call it now. I'm not
yeah, exactly. So, but like smaller class sizes allow you to have more bespoke interaction with kids.
Not enough teachers not getting paid enough.
Yeah, exactly. Teachers aren't paid enough.
It's a whole other thing. Anyway, funny news.
Okay. Let's move on to funny news. I've got shitloads of funny news, and I don't think we've got time
4
for
minutes.
a lot. Let's have a look here. We'll go. So basically, we released our US vlog. I also released a clip of Smith speaking to the grouse, which was a very interesting clip.
Legendary.
Now, we had a couple of news places and random places that wanted to use this footage. So there is one here from a website called Right This Minute, which we'll bring up.
I haven't seen this yet.
Essentially, we can react to this thing. They're quite descriptive, so it should be good for the podcast.
Wow,
sweet.
They really put my name in that description.
As a context,
that's the description I gave them.
Right.
Read it out. So it says, Alex Smith and the gang from Hat Films Extra. I told them Hat Films.
Are in Oregon. No, we're not. This was from previous. On a downhill mountain biking trip when Alex picks up an unexpected passenger. What? In this hilariously random video, who the fuck uses random anymore?
Yeah, wow.
A grouse demands Alex's attention by stopping him in his tracks, then follows him as he continues to ride. That should be a semicolon and not a comma. Flying is hard. This bird is just looking for a ride. There we go. Right. Well, thank you.
There we go.
Right this minute.
Now, we've seen a bunch of mountain bike videos here on Right This Minute, but I guarantee you've never seen one like this. Alex Smith's in Oregon, and they decided to try out downhill mountain biking for the first time ever. Ah! Oh! What is it? A puncture? The chain break? Is it a bear?
I swear I'm not.
Pigeon just attacked me.
Pigeon?
Hello?
It's not a pigeon. That'd be a grouse. Yeah. But as he was riding, said grouse jumped out of the tree, whoopah! Smacked him.
How dramatic
What
they are.
the hell is going on here?
This grouse just wants in on the fun.
No.
Pops
It's a great
up
clip.
into the saddle, is like, yep, okay, Alex, go. Alex, pick it up, put it on the handlebars.
Do you like how they sing your
and
name?
take it.
Weird.
Well, he does
Really
take it
weird.
for a ride.
Oh my goodness!
Starts giving it a ride down the hill. Oh my goodness. Yeah, after
It
a
was
quick
pretty
ride,
strange at the time.
Grousey then hops off and he's like, okay, cool. He starts making his way downhill when... What's going on?
It's on my head.
Oh my god! Please go! Please get on the bike and start pedaling.
All right. Oh my god. Guys?
Man, this poor grouse has just been watching the action.
Yeah,
Now wants to
are,
get
they
in
are.
on
They are
it.
just
That's like Frank at the moment.
really
He's
stretched
riding around
out.
in his head.
Like the clip is just not that long. It's not like
Topped
that
off
details.
again?
You get
You
it
still
very
following me?
quickly.
I know what
They're
the problem
really
is. The
fucking
grouse, they don't
milked that one,
fly
haven't they?
very well, and this thing is way at the top.
Yeah, so you met with the
Fastest way
grouse.
down
How long
is
is
to
that?
hitch
Does
a
that go
ride.
on?
Yeah, but it
further,
looks
Craig?
like
How long is
this
that?
little
2 minutes.
something may
2
be
minutes.
over.
Get away from
Wow, there you go.
Hops
That's
back
your
on his
little claim to
bike,
fame
goes
there.
around the
Right this
corner,
minute. I've never
meets
heard
his
of that
buddies
before.
and
If you
spins
have,
the
then
yarn.
But I mean, I guess thanks for using
Yeah,
our
thanks,
footage
thank you.
to make something interesting.
it's a rare
Fair
thing.
play.
Yeah.
It could be used, and they
I
also
mean-
credited us very nicely.
Yeah, well, we're.
good,
I mean,
appreciate
I'm a hugely entitled person,
But,
so like,
Alex Smith.
probably unfair to
Attacked.
criticize him.
Yeah.
But you know, that's fun, and that's what we like to do. We're British.
That's fun.
That's what we do. We're sarcastic about things. That's pretty much 90% of our humour.
Going from that, there is a story which I found. So basically, frozen excrement was dropped from a plane and it crashed through a house roof.
Why were they carrying frozen excrement?
Well, it came from the plane.
Why
It
is
fell
fro-
off a
and
plane.
then it froze.
And I'm guessing it. I
Did
guess,
they
do
maybe
they
leave the poo
do they
valve
freeze it
open?
beforehand or does it freeze over
Left
the
the poo
time?
valve open.
She said she was woken up by a lump of blue ice crashing through the ceiling, 15 foot from her head.
Jeez, I mean that is dangerous. Like a large lump of ice falling.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
Amazing.
After the installation, she said she found pink insulation drywall, ceiling material, and shattered bits of wood in the hallway in a puddle of water.
Okay.
In the morning, daylight could be seen shining through, etc. Whatever. They
what a
really
big
extended
build-up.
that, of course. Yeah, there's a hole in the
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
roof. We get it. Said there was no rotting wood in the roof, and before the incident, the outer shell of the house was solid.
Is there any information about it being a shit?
I'm trying to figure out why it's been frozen. Does it just freeze like?
Read more.
It's really
Indian
common.
woman injured by ball of frozen human waste falling from a plane.
Is that a different woman?
Frozen.
How often does
excrement
this happen?
The blight has been known.
Right. So it's frozen excrement that can accidentally leak away from planes in mid-flight.
Oh,
Named the colour of the disinfectant used by sewage system in commercial planes, blue ice has been known to hit homes and melt on impact, leaving little evidence behind.
so it freeze.
So it does- do they
it can freeze in certain temperatures. I
how is
guess.
it leaving the aircraft? Is it actually supposed to?
Yeah.
No.
It flushes out.
no,
doesn't
no,
it?
they wouldn't flush it out mid-flight. That'd be too dangerous. Like
Imagine
it just
getting-
leaks. There'll be a valve that they empty it out with each time.
Yeah,
And it's
That's
poo
just
valve.
it's just loose.
It's a poo valve. Literally, like when we left the one open on our RV. Then,
yeah,
piss-
and then it started pouring out.
Like
when I-
shit
that
and-
altitude and that.
specifically Ross's shit
It
all
was,
over the
I had
I-5.
I had to go. You know, I
Yeah.
had to go. At the time I had to go. So there you go.
All right.
Um,
Do
and
we have any questions, Craig?
I have one more story that I think
Okay.
was quite. Well, it was kind of funny. Also,
Sure.
kind of just interesting that this thing exists. So
Sorry, I like the way that we were taking the piss out of the people reacting to that clip of me, and now we're
Yeah,
literally
we're doing the
same
same thing.
content now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not as it's not as extended. Come on,
Okay.
guys. It's not. We're
No,
not
we
making this a
know
mountain out of a
when
molehill.
we're not being entertaining.
Yeah. Female swinger suffers heart attack after overdoing it during orgy. Don't worry, she didn't
Oh
die.
my
She didn't
God.
die. Now,
Heart attack orgy.
so apparently there's a huge sex festival in Europe, which
She overdid it.
is where this happened. The festival, a female swinger attended a UK sex fest, suffered a heart attack because she was overdoing it during group activities.
Now, do we think the three women pictured in that photo are at that sex festival, or do you think we just pulled it from?
I think they pulled it from a random festival,
like
probably.
stock. Now those people are now associated with an
Yeah.
orgy festival.
The 52-year-old
Surely they gotta
woman.
Be careful about that.
Well, do they, Trot? It's Calgary Sun.
And maybe it says screen grab as the credit, so who fucking knows?
Okay.
It gave the 700 swingers 700 at this thing.
Yeah.
A bit of a shock, but it didn't take too long for the fun and games to resume. So after the heart attack, they were like right back to it. And she was flown out there.
I mean, this is a story of someone having a heart attack, Ross.
It is a story of, but it's at a sex festival. I was more curious as to the fact that this is a thing that 700 people went
She
to.
had a stent
Tickets for
fitted.
the hormone-charged hijinks cost about $450. That would be such
cheaper
an
than
interesting
Glastonbury.
festival to go to.
It would. wouldn't
Well,
it?
just to kind of do like that guy who does
Like
the
Joe Goes.
Joe
Goes. If you don't know who Joe Goes is,
Joe
he's got
Goes.
so many good
Yeah.
episodes of things about this. He goes to the Juggalo Festival, which is just fucking hilarious. He goes to the Adult Movie Con in Las Vegas. Brilliant.
It'd be so awkward.
But just imagine, I mean, you need to be like stone cold to be able to interview
Yeah.
these people because,
Yeah.
like, you know.
Well,
it's
they're
so
probably just
awkward.
like fucking quite humor, like
Yeah,
they're
quite liberal,
yeah.
out there people, which
Probably
I
just
think.
willing to joke about it. They've gone to a sex festival for Christ's
So
sake.
you'll finish the interview and they'll be like, "So, want to bang?" No, thank you.
Yeah,
No,
Louis
okay.
Theroux and back
Yeah.
out there. I'm just here for the questions. Apparently, it was held
super
on
interesting.
rural farmland, just yards from a Boy Scout camp. That had to be.
Oh,
So-
waving over the hedge as you like,
What's going on over
You're
there?
influencing these
Can
young
hear
children.
noises.
and then the scout leader's just waving back, doing the same thing.
Nice.
Oh,
That's where I'm going tonight. Jeez.
Oh my god. Anyway,
Right.
some quick fire
we'll go to
questions.
questions.
I can't read them there because the
We
light's
are-
in the way. Go for it.
Which one did we? I think these are still dog questions from.
so Tyrannus Pax says, if you were in a horror movie, who'd be the one to get everyone killed?
Probably me.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I might fuck up or clumsly do something, which then
drop a radio in the bath.
I'll
that we're all in.
sneeze in a fucking like quiet situation. Just,
Roger.
stay fucking quiet.
He's right outside, Ross. He's right outside. No,
We're all dead.
and then just the cupboard we're in just gets straight for machine gun fire. Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah,
We'll go with Ross.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I do worry about that when driving and sneezing. That's a fear.
Okay, we've already seen all of those.
I think we've answered loads.
So I've added one. That's the only one that I've found so far.
So
Okay,
it's got one, okay.
Tauco's asked, pissed. I'm thinking about saving for a little road trip in the US. From your experience, what should be my amount to put aside for this trip? Depends on the road trip.
Oh yeah, 'cause
I
I was
mean-
talking to Lydia 'cause she just came back from
Yeah.
Vegas, and I
You can
started
spend
listing
a
all the
lot.
things we did in Vegas. She was like, "Oh God, you must have spent a fortune." I was like, "It might have been quite expensive." But
Yeah.
we did the supercar thing, didn't we? And then the
Cirque du Soleil.
Cirque du
the Michael
Soleil,
Jackson thing.
The Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Grand Canyon
helicopter.
thing,
Yeah, I
quad
mean, yeah.
biking,
We
the
spent-
shooting in the desert.
To do what we do on our road trips, I'd say we spend about $10,000.
It's trying to make it entertaining.
And it's
for
three
people.
of us, don't.
Yeah,
don't
it is
forget.
three of us. Like that does.
And there's
amp
no
the cost
that
up.
money's not coming back to us.
No.
But
Oh.
it makes good videos, and obviously it's a good experience for us as well. But there you go.
So I reckon you could do a 2-week road trip from say Seattle down to LA. You could probably do it. $1,500 maybe if you took
At a complete,
Greyhound
motels
bus,
only. Yeah. Yeah.
camp with a Greyhound bus or maybe rent a car. You might be able to do it. But the thing
couple
is,
of grand
there's
would be-
plenty of free things you can do which are amazing. You know, go
Oh,
to
yeah.
Yosemite, although you have to pay to get in.
You can
It's not
drive
very
to
much.
Grand Canyon instead of what we did. We
Yeah.
got a helicopter.
Don't drive into it though.
Classic.
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
Gotta
Don't
be
drive
Gotta
over
be
the edge.
careful.
Yeah.
I'm in it.
We're probably not the best people to ask because we tend to do things in a way that's going to be visually interesting.
We just otherwise we're there scratching our heads, going, "Well, how do we make this just walk interesting?"
How's it
Yeah.
not just like? Oh,
well,
woke
guys,
up.
it's an 8-hour hike up the trail, and then we should be able to get some good footage.
Oh, okay, that's 8 hours Fuck, for one video. Who'd have
Yeah.
thought?
So, but I mean, it's totally worth doing it. Like the Pacific Northwest is probably the best place to start
Oh, yeah,
because
absolutely.
there's so much to see that's natural. But yeah, anyway,
It's
Yeah.
Dilly. When are you planning on going on tour with the band? Well, we've got,
We've got a
a
world
huge
tour.
world tour coming
With
up.
one night
One
only.
night only. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mr. Sam the Dead Nuts can be performing at YogCon if you've bought tickets for
3rd
that.
of August.
Well done, but if you haven't, there's none left.
Fully
So,
sold out.
yeah,
Mr. Sam's excited.
but that is our start of our world tour and the end of our world tour.
Yeah.
At YogCon.
One day only, guys. One day.
Right, couple more. 90s skid grown up. How does having a back catalogue of videos help in earnings? Big ups, by the way.
I don't know if they earn
not
a lot of
huge.
money. Like I feel like the cut-off is almost 3 days max.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
unless
there
the
is a
video's done really
trickle.
well.
There's a legacy trickle.
Yeah.
Like if we don't upload a video, there will be residual views from like the past few videos.
Bear in mind, unless you have like 1,000 views, you won't even make $1.
Yeah.
So you'd have to have shitloads of views, obviously, from the back catalogue. But we don't really get like that
They
many
do
legacy
trickle
views.
in.
It trickles. If we didn't release a video in a day, we might get, I don't know, 50 to 80,000 views
Mhm.
for that day of our entire back catalogue.
I don't think having more
But-
videos helps necessarily.
More videos.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean more views.
No, because the thing is, we've done so much different things, different games, all sorts of different types
A lot of
of
people
content.
just don't go back and look
The-
at old stuff.
Yeah.
It's hard to find that stuff without
Yeah.
knowing that it exists.
Yeah, the
and-
user interface of YouTube supports new stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like rather
Yeah.
than the
And
older
sometimes
stuff.
you get like a video from 2 years ago randomly
Yeah.
in your recommended feed, but ultimately, yeah.
We've got over 3,000 videos. It's hard to kind of go watch this series or
Yeah.
like watch.
Start
you know.
off this again from 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Where the mics were worse and we don't have cams and we sound different as well. Which is,
So they'll always promote new stuff.
Etiel, if you had the
Does
money
help,
to go
though.
anywhere, where would it be?
well, money isn't the only factor. Knowing how to navigate through a country is really important. I'd love
Yeah,
to
like
do
Japan or something
Colombia.
would be good.
Like
Colombia.
South America looks sick. Uganda, that looks amazing. Like I'm basically going off of the Grand Tour and Top Gear stuff. Like when my favorite ones of theirs was Colombia, Uganda looks really really amazing. But the thing is, money's not just.
China
the
would be
problem
quite interesting.
China would be
Like,
interesting.
I mean, I'm not sure which part.
South
specifically,
Korea,
but, like,
Japan. Like you
Yeah.
It'd be
said.
very different, and I think we'd learn quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Australia, you
agree.
guys, the east coast of Australia is awesome. Yeah, but the thing is, planning these things is actually the biggest challenge. Like with us, like money is a consideration, but like finding these things is hard in the first place, and traveling between these places, especially in somewhere like South America, which is less linked up than say the US.
It really feels like in a vlog as well. Like every day has to be a different experience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
that's
that
the thing.
vlog to be worthwhite being a different video.
Yeah, different video. Yeah.
So.
Well, the thing is, like in the next ones, there's like 3 days of whitewater rafting,
Yeah.
which I don't know if I should make that all in one, which would be hard because there's a lot of other stuff in between, and it'd be like fucking over an hour long if it was cut down, or just 2 specials, which I might try and do that.
If it's like a really like good.
Well, the thing is, we
video.
didn't film that much on the water. We were quite strict on it because we were
Yeah.
stopping and starting it as we went, rather than running the whole fucking thing, which we did for the cycling,
GoPros
which
would
took
just
fucking
die.
ages.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll be too heavy on it, but maybe the second video will be just condensed a bit more.
Cool.
There's some
Because
round the
otherwise-
campfire stuff that were really good.
That's the thing. There's all that stuff which actually
Chasing those fucking
was
toads.
a lot longer than I expected. Yeah,
Some good
there's
stuff
all those little
coming up.
bits which kind of add up, like the wine tasting thing.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like
Man.
all that stuff adds
Some
up.
real good stuff coming.
But it's a lot of stuff, but hopefully it should be out soon.
All right, one more. Pick one.
That one's
Oh, this one, Sir Robjin, is a good one. Do you ever feel self-conscious about holding cameras and filming yourself in public for vlogs? As a mild introvert, I know I would struggle with the attention of passers-by and stuff.
It really helps
Yes.
us 3 of us.
I fucking hate doing it.
Yeah, it
I
sucks.
mean, it's
You
nice when you
seem the most confident doing it recently. though.
you have to, like, this thing, you have to kind of like just go shit, like no one really cares when they're walking past you
They're
with a
gonna
camera.
forget about you. After
They'll
like
forget like
5
moments, but
minutes.
like I do kind of like I've had to retake certain things because it's just cringy. You kind of cringe at yourself,
Yeah.
and like unless like you see these American vlogs who fucking they've got it down. They don't give a fuck what other people think, and unfortunately we've got this British kind of demeanor where you do give a fuck what
I
everyone
wouldn't put it
thinks.
on
Yeah.
British.
And you're kind
I think
of,
it's
well,
just your level of
Extra
socializing.
Comfort with it, yeah. Because some people are fine to do it, but when you're holding a camera, you're going, "Hey guys, I'm about to do this thing." It's like, and there's somebody walking past, you know, they're just going, "That guy's a fucking asshole."
Yeah,
and you're
yeah,
like, "Yeah,
yeah.
I feel like an asshole."
Yeah.
But you understand that people are
Yeah.
going to watch this. They might enjoy it. I don't know, but like,
There is something about being in a group though. You feel a bit
Yeah.
more protected from that
Yeah.
cringe when it's like, well, it's us 3 doing it.
Yeah.
It's not just me on my own being a
Yeah.
weirdo. It's like there's more of us than there are of the people walking past us.
Yeah.
I think being behind the camera is a much less anxiety
I enjoy
inducing
doing it. Yeah,
experience.
I
like,
enjoy that as well.
like being the guy filming the person going, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah.
Like that. I don't
The
find
attention's off
hard
them.
at all. Yeah. Like, but being the person, like you say, talking into a camera, I find
because
really,
there's always certain
really hard.
scenarios which it's just like I don't think I can bring it out right now, but I probably
Yeah.
should because this moment is going to be interesting for the viewers. So you've got to constantly think about it, but
And
Yeah.
Hyperion 97, no, I don't think we've ever had anyone asked to be blanked out of a vlog. Some people say like,
oh, what do you mean?
before
What
we
their
start-
face is?
yeah.
Oh, right.
Before we
no.
start filming, some people might go, "Oh, do you mind not filming this bit?" And we'll be like, "Sure." But
I think we
ha-
try and just lean away so that it's mainly us
Yeah,
in case
we can
anyone
pretty
else
much read if someone doesn't want to be
yeah.
involved in anything.
And we try and ask as many people if we're doing stuff like, for example, on the whitewater rafting thing, we said to the guides like, "Do you guys mind being in videos?" And they like, "No, sure." Like,
Just gonna film this. And you always
Yeah.
like when you plan these events, you ask ahead. It's like we're gonna bring our camera equipment. Is that all
Yeah,
cool?
yeah.
So they're aware of it every time we
Yeah.
do
but
these things.
it can be a bit awkward, but
Mhm.
we're used to it now. Kind
Yeah.
of.
We're
Sort of.
used to the awkward
Mm.
ish.
Well, anyway,
Well, yeah,
that's,
that's
What a hat
what's the
chat.
podcast.
We
What a
really
hat
got
chat.
deep there.
there was
I
a
know,
lot
I
of
mean-
words.
Yeah, I mean, I got shitloads of news stories that maybe I can save for next time.
Save them for next time. Well, please send in your thoughts and your comments to this following email, hatchat@hat-films.com.
Yes.
And if you do enjoy Hat Chat, why not support us? It really helps us continue doing what we're doing at patreon.com/hatfilms.
Nice. I'm glad that they did come up on screen at the same time. That worked perfectly.
There you can support us, and you will also be credited at the end of the VODs, which are available on
the Hat Chat podcast on YouTube. Just put that into your search bar.
Which just hit 30K, guys. It's now a celebrity in itself.
Amazing.
So perfect.
And you can watch us visually, see all the news articles and stuff that Craig puts up on screen, and see the videos along with us. So it's always good.
So thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, and
goodbye.